by Perez Tire Center, Aces Bail Bonds, Miranda & Sons Automotive, Bridgeport Auto Glass, Ramirez Spanish Restaurant, Haas Funeral Home.
What's up, you guys? Welcome to Super Elite Entertainment. You already know I'm your boy, your host, your good friend, Jason Rodriguez. Really excited to be here broadcasting from our studio located in the city of Bridgeport, Connecticut. I'm pumped up, man. I don't know about you. I'm a little pumped up tonight because today's our first day back in the studio. We've been going out of here for quite some time. Of course, due to COVID-19, the effects that have been taking place in our community, I made the decision to move the studio out of here temporarily, and I've been broadcasting out of my home. But tonight, I decided that it was time to come back, especially with the date that has been put out there, May 20th. You know, the government is lifting some of the restrictions, and some of the businesses are going to start reopening out in the community. And, you know, that's a great thing. That's a great thing. So I'm excited, man, because I have a really special guest that's going to be sitting on the hot seat tonight, Mr. Edward Figueroa, a.k.a. Figgy, here in the studio tonight. I'm excited because he's going to be... Listen, if you know someone that is an individual that's struggling with substance abuse, maybe an alcoholic, someone that's injecting heroin, someone that's smoking crack, whatever the case may be, someone that's even addicted to nicotine, to cigarettes, listen, call them up, get them right now, you know, have them sit down, have them tune in tonight, because Edward Figueroa, who's here in the studio, has a powerful message that he's going to deliver tonight. He has a powerful story, a powerful testimony, and I guarantee you that lives are going to be changed as soon as this man begins to speak and opens up his mouth. So, without further ado, I just want to mention that if you're listening to us on our podcast, whether it's Anchor, Spotify, or Apple Podcasts, or Public Radio, I want to welcome you into the show tonight. I'm excited for you guys to be tuning in. Perez Tire Center, which is located at 72 Knowlton Street in Bridgeport, Connecticut, is slashing the competition with a full vehicle $45 alignment. Visit PerezTireCenter.com or visit them at 72 Knowlton Street in Bridgeport, Connecticut. Aces Bail Bond, Yasmin Khan, quick response 24/7, easy payment 203-257-6228. Y también se habla español. So if you need Aces Bail Bond, contact them there right now. Evolution Sports Bar, currently closed due to the restrictions that the government has put out, will be opening soon, hopefully soon. They're located at 1279 North Avenue in Bridgeport, Connecticut. Keep in mind that Evolution Sports Bar on Thursdays have karaoke night, Fridays, ladies night, Saturdays, Fusion Day, and Sundays, Dia de Rumba. So make sure that you visit evolutionsportscafe.com. Miranda & Sons Automotive, located at 360 Avon Street in Stratford, Connecticut. Need new brakes, electrical system, diagnostic check, head gasket, AC service, tune-ups, front end, struts, full general auto repair. Contact Louis Miranda at Miranda & Sons Automotive. Spark City Smoke and Vape Shop. If you need cigars, lotto tickets, if you need tobacco, vaping products, they even have a smoking lounge. Visit Spark City Smoke Shop at 815 Lafayette Boulevard in Bridgeport, Connecticut for the best exclusive cigars in the city. Ramirez Spanish Restaurant, specializing in churrasco and seafood, located at 1234 East Main Street in Bridgeport, Connecticut. If you need some lunch, some dinner, wine, takeout, catering, delivery is available. If you have an appetite like me and I love to eat Spanish food, visit Ramirez Spanish Restaurant right there at 1234 East Main Street in Bridgeport, Connecticut. And finally, Bridgeport Auto Glass, located at 1227 Barnum Avenue in Bridgeport, Connecticut. If you need new glass on your vehicle, visit www.bridgeportautoglassshop.com. Again, I'm your host, Jason Rodriguez. I'm excited to be here broadcasting live from the studio, which is located in the city of Bridgeport, Connecticut. I'm excited, man, that you guys are tuning in. I'm starting to see the numbers go up. Please click that share button and share this live broadcast into your timeline. Let someone know that we're broadcasting live tonight, and a powerful message is going to be delivered by Edwin Figueroa. Without further ado, we're going to take a quick commercial break. When I come back, Mr. Edward Figueroa will be joining me momentarily. We'll be right back from this commercial break, guys. Don't go anywhere.
Antes de comer algo, cuando toca cualquier cosa, y si abres una puerta, para que el coronavirus vea que somos bacanos. Ya, cero besitos, cero apretón de mano, cubrirnos la boca si tosemos, estornudamos. No podemos tocar la cosa sin protección, y evitemos en lugares públicos aglomeración. Si tú de verdad me quieres, salúdame de lejito. Es la mejor muestra de afecto que yo necesito. Unidos podemos, cuidémonos todito, y a ese virus le ganamos trabajando en equipo.
I've been watching you a lot, and I the way you work with the community and the things that you do for the city of Bridgeport, born and raised myself here. I'm really proud of you, man, and it's an honor to be here, brother. Really
Thank you.
is.
And really quick, not to cut you off, Ed, but I want to apologize to the viewing audience because we made a mistake and we didn't turn the microphone on.
Okay.
So everybody that was watching didn't get to hear, everything that I was saying.
Okay.
But I just need to read what I stated again. Edward Figueroa is a creative writer, screenwriter, songwriter with gold and platinum credits, marketing and promoting iconic recording artists.
That's right.
So that's not only what you are, because you have a lot of labels, you wear a lot of hats. And there's so much that we're going to talk about tonight, and I'm excited to have you here, and I'm grateful to have you here, man, because I know that you're a person of influence.
Thank you.
And you're a person that has a powerful testimony, strong message for the community. And I'm listen, this is your home, that's your hot seat, you're riding this ship. You let it all hang out and you say whatever it is that God has placed in your heart to say to the viewing audience tonight. Because I know that there's a lot of people on the other end of those cameras that are in need. All right, there's people that's struggling. There's people that's going through the fire. And as you know, we're experiencing the effects of COVID-19. People are depressed, suicidal. I mean, there's a lot going on in our world right now, Ed.
Yes, there is, my
And I just want to turn it over to you. Introduce yourself to the viewing audience, and we'll go from there.
Well, my name is Edward Figueroa. As Jason stated, I started out in music, just a passion of mine. At the age of 6 years old, I saw this gift and I just went crazy for it. And everything I did after that first thing that I wrote, I just began to begin writing. And it's always been with a message, Everything that I write, I try to make it something that people can relate to, especially if you're going through stuff. At the age of 18, I went to Seaside Park, and I met my mentor there, Nicholas Ashford. And we became friends. And after 3 years of mentoring and a great friendship, he offered me a job. Him and Valerie Simpson, the Ashford and Simpson, offered me a job. And at 21, I moved to New York, and I began my career with some of the greatest entertainers in music. It's like they're royalty. They've always been royalty. Mm-hmm. So that's part of my story,
Mm-hmm. Well, listen, there's a lot that you're not mentioning about yourself, and that's okay because we're going to try to cover it. We're going to try to cover it all tonight,
okay,
because I want the viewing audience to know that when they look at you, I want them to know that, Edward Figueroa is a man of God, a man of faith. Also, you're an individual who was born and raised here in the city of Bridgeport, Connecticut. So you're a product of our city, man.
That's right.
And I love that you're Latino as well.
Thank you.
And you're a filmmaker.
That's right.
You're a writer. You have written music for countless people. Mm-hmm. You have credits in platinum records that have been promoted.
That's right.
you have worked even with Edwin Ramos, who's here out of the city of Bridgeport, Connecticut. And I found it really impressive that both of you guys wrote and produced Tito Puente's tribute song that his son performed, right?
That's right. It was a song called "Here's to You." Edwin Ramos is an amazing writer, producer. When I came back from New York after working for Ashford and Simpson for 15 years, I came back to New York in '95, and Edwin was the big guy, and we connected and we just started working together. And because I'm not only a creative writer, I'm also, I was groomed and trained to manage and to seek connections and stuff like that. So I think our first 3 songs, we placed our first song with a Sony Latino artist. That was our first song that we placed together on Sony Records. And then came the Tito Puente Jr. tribute. Tito Puente tragically passed away. May God rest his soul. And Edwin came to me with this music, and he asked me if I would be willing to write the lyrics to it. And the rest is history. We wrote it. We got a really great review on Billboard. Tito Puente Jr. really put his heart and soul into it. It's called "Here's to You," and there's also a Latin version, "Para Ti," and that's how we began.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah,
That's awesome. And I love the fact that whenever I see someone from our city, taking leaps like that and tapping into industries as great as you have been a part of, I think that is just amazing. And I congratulate you on your accomplishments, man, because not many people get the opportunity to do what you have done.
Oh, that's for sure. It's a blessing, man. It's really been a huge blessing for me because, like my first time ever in a huge recording studio was in New York City, and I was escorting Ashford and Simpson to a studio, and I dropped them off in front of the studio, and my mentor Nick Ashford said to me, "Yo, park the car in the garage. I want you to come up." And when I get up into the studio, it was Quincy Jones producing Frank Sinatra, and then about 45 minutes later walks in a young, skinny kid with a scarf wrapped around all the way up to his face, and when he took it off, it was Michael Jackson.
Wow.
So it was like, who can I tell?
So wait a minute. Like, so you actually got to meet the King of Pop?
I got to meet the King of Pop, man. And believe it or not, man, I stayed in that studio for only like maybe an hour and a half, and they stayed there longer because the energy in that room was so vibrant.
Wow.
And I was beside myself. I couldn't sit still, But, that was the first of many amazing experiences that God has led me to. You know what I mean?
Wow, man. No, listen, I wish that I would have loved to have the opportunity to meet Michael Jackson. I've been a big fan of his, and I understand, people say, he had his little weird side and stuff like that. I get it. But that dude was legendary. He was the king, bro. So, man, God bless you for being able to meet the King of Pop, brother.
Thank you, my brother. When it comes to stuff like that, God is the one that judges. I try not to judge anybody. And anybody who hurts you or who has hurt me in my life, I've learned to forgive. You know what I mean? You don't forget, and you might remove yourself from that situation, but you have to forgive that person, because in that act of forgiveness, new doors open for you.
Absolutely, man. So we've been trying to get together for quite some time, you and me. We've been going back and forth.
Yeah, our families are intertwined.
Yeah,
man.
we just discovered that as well.
Yeah.
But you and me, we've been communicating for quite some time now, for months already, going back and forth. We've been trying to set up this interview, and we've been talking about Warriors Empowerment, a program that you created.
Well, with God's help, God inspired.
Well, God inspired,
Warriors Empowerment Group.
Warriors Empowerment Group. Yep.
Yeah.
So, we're gonna talk more about that shortly, because that's when I want you to drive it home for the people that's watching.
Absolutely.
But there was a picture that I just put up on the screen right here. Let me put this picture up. That picture right there is your mentor, Maya Angelou.
Maya Angelou was a mother figure within the inner circle of Ashford and Simpson. There was a few more, but she was an amazing person. And when you're around these people, I was a dry sponge. I was, as far as creative writing, I had nothing. You know what I mean? Compared to who I was able to watch and learn from. But Dr. Maya Angelou was an amazing person, and I didn't realize it until I started Warriors Empowerment Group that I was mentored in a certain way. Like, I would be able to have a conversation with someone and then feel energy. They mentored me how to feel energy, and then we would have a conversation. I would feel the weakest of energies within you, and then I would create inside what to say to you to strengthen those weakest of energies in you. And that is the basis of Warriors Empowerment Group. It's a faith-based group, and it's a system that God and I developed to hit home with those struggling with addiction. You know, because addiction is one of the leading killers of the world. And you know what? I've been doing Warriors Empowerment Group for now almost 6 years, and I've reached out to everybody, all the politicians, you know, big and small. And when it comes to addiction, nobody really wants to talk about it because they feel that there is no cure. And that's kind of right, but I've saved a lot of lives in Jesus' name. I've saved a lot of lives, people who are struggling with addiction. And this is something that you have to experience. You don't open up a book and read about it. It's something that you have to experience. And once you do, God works through me, and I'm able to tap into something inside of you that gives you that extra strength, that when you challenge that craving, when you challenge that desire, when you challenge that darkness that's attached to addiction, you're able to not only beat it, but you're able to face it and get over it. You know, a lot of people go through trauma, a lot of people go through pain, a lot of people go through hardships, and you know, there's people that you know, failure. People think that failure is a bad thing. You know, failure that, you know, is not an option. Failure is the best thing that could happen to anyone because God put you through that for a reason. And once you go through that failure and you realize, damn, I did this wrong. I could have did this way. And then the next time you do it differently and you succeed. So you take all those failures and you use them as stepping stones to your success.
Wow.
Failures are great. There's nothing wrong with failing because everybody that's ever been successful has failed. And the only way that they've reached their pinnacle success is by learning from your failures. So bad experiences that you go through in life, there's a reason for it. Try to find the good, you know, good in it. And once you start seeing life and your struggles that way, then you're gonna be able to understand that it's strengthening you. It's not making you weaker. You're not weak because you failed. You're not a failure because you failed. You're building, and you use those failures as stepping stones to success.
Wow, man. I love it. I love every single word that you just have spoken. I'm sure that people that's watching are feeling the emotion and the passion in your voice. And I see, what I respect about you is that you were involved for years in the entertainment industry. You were part of movies that have been produced, music that have been produced. I mean, you have been around great big names in the entertainment industry and celebrities and et cetera and et cetera. You've done it all. You traveled the world in that industry, but you walked away from it. You walked away from a 6-7 figure job so that you can pursue your passion that you didn't even know was there.
Oh,
right?
Man, you hit it right on.
Yeah,
the head,
that you didn't even know exists.
A lot of people don't know that. I went to Bullard Havens and I learned a trade, printing. And I worked printing for many years up until I started working for Ashford and Simpson. Then when I came back, because I was soul searching and I wanted to write movies, I wanted to do other things, I landed a job at the biggest printing company in Connecticut. They're called the GHP out in West Haven. What's up, guys? And I started running a state-of-the-art press out there in GHP, and I worked that job for 15 years, making 6 figures, working 3:30 in the afternoon to 3:30 in the morning. And it was the kind of life where I went to bed, I blinked, I woke up, and it was time to go to work. And not that I lost 15 years, because I still produced films and I still did what I did, but you know, I always listen to that voice inside. You know, they say that there's two wolves fighting inside of every person every minute of the day. There's the wolf of light, and then there's the dark wolf, you know, and they fight inside us every day. And the wolf that wins is the one that you feed. The wolf that wins is the one that you feed. So one night I was working at my job, and I heard that voice that I've listened to, that I followed at 18 to Seaside Park, and I met Ashford, that led me to an amazing journey. This same voice came to me, and it said, "You don't belong here anymore." And I didn't give a 2 weeks notice. I packed up my bag. I went into the locker room, put on my civilian clothes, and I walked out of there.
Wow.
And I landed at the recovery house, and I started dealing with people in recovery. I had no idea what I was doing. I was just following God's lead. And people don't understand it. My family, they don't understand it either to this day. Like, I was making all this money, and now I'm making a quarter of it, but I am more fulfilled now than I have ever been in my life.
You know, and what's crazy is you come from the entertainment industry, and you step into a completely different ball field.
Yeah.
You know, dealing with people who abuse substances. You know, and it's not that you didn't walk into it with experience, or did you?
Well, you know, growing up, I was born in PT. From PT, we moved to Marina. From Marina, we moved to Clinton Avenue between Railroad and State. From there, we moved to Black Rock Avenue. So, you know, I've always been around addiction.
Okay.
You know, at 12 years old, I went with my cousin, Wilfredo Cruz. Freddie, what's up? To Seaside Park. He was a lifeguard at the time. And a kid was drowning. So he went down and he pulled him out, and he did CPR on him, and he saved this kid's life. And it was so profound to me that I had him teach me how to do CPR. 3 days later, I was in Winfield Park playing basketball, and a friend of mine was ODing on heroin right in front of me. And I performed CPR and was able to keep him alive until the ambulance came. So it's like I've been a part of addiction. It's been around me all my life. My first film that I ever did was a half music video, half movie. It's called Welcome to the Jungle. Welcome to the Jungle is a Guns N' Roses song. It's a very negative song. And I took that song, and this was before I was working in recovery, in addiction field. Before I was working there. And I did a part movie, part music video. It's got over 30,000 hits on YouTube. Welcome to the Jungle. So,
you know, and I seen the trailer today, and it's pretty amazing.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you. So, I mean, like, if I look at everything in my life in retrospect, God has always wanted me to do this. I just became obedient and just listened to him. You know what I mean? And it's hard listening sometimes when your logic is telling you, "Are you crazy? You leaving this job for that?" You know, but I've always listened to that voice, and I've always had that faith. Faith is the Wi-Fi that connects. You know, you can't see the wind, but it's there.
That's
you
right.
can't see Wi-Fi, but it's there. Faith is the Wi-Fi that connects to that source, and that's if the more you believe, like when I was a writer, you know, from 6 to the age of 18, I knew God gave me a gift for a reason, and I believed that I would be working with the best. I believe it. I saw it, and at 18, God opened that door for me. And it was because I was obedient and I followed that voice. So when he gave me that, when he talked to me again and I left printing for recovery, I followed that voice. I was afraid. And you know what? Till this day, my boss there, he still sends me Christmas cards. He still contacts me and asks me how I'm doing, because I was always a good worker. I was always very respectful, you know, and I just try to do things right, you know. You know, when young men are growing up, we get the wrong signals. You know, there's no crying in baseball. You know, suck it up. You're a boy. You don't cry. You don't do this. And then by the time we're teenagers, we end up harboring and holding all the weight of the world on our shoulders from the things that we've held in. You know what I mean? And it adds to our problems. So anytime you have a chance to let out pain, whether it's alone or in a group, anytime you have a chance to get rid of some of that dark weight, do it. Cry. Get it out, because you'll be much lighter, and then you can deal with the next obstacle that presents itself in front of you.
Yeah. You know, and I'm going to be careful that I don't use that I don't call anyone who abuses substances a drug addict, because I called them a drug addict a few weeks ago, and my buddy George jumped all over me and corrected me immediately, and I appreciate that, George, because I'm sure George is watching right now. He's a member of the city council of the city of Bridgeport.
Okay.
So
George, what's his last name?
George, I can't remember his last name at the moment, but I believe you know who he is.
Yeah.
I believe you know who he is. But when it comes to people who are struggling with addiction, and you know, as you know right now, one of the most substances that's being widely abused right now,
It's fentanyl.
yes, fentanyl and opioids and all that.
Opioids, yeah.
So, and fentanyl is killing people, man.
This is the thing with that. It's like I explained it as simple as possible, because when you simplify things, people get it right away. It's like going to a bakery and you get a chocolate chip cookie, right? And you take that chocolate chip cookie home and you eat it and you say, oh my God, that was delicious. I'm gonna go back the next day. And then you go back to that bakery and you get another chocolate chip cookie. Now, the chocolate chip cookie that you had before had 5 chocolate chips in it. Chocolate chips representing the fentanyl. But the one that you just bought has 8, 9, or 10 chocolate chips in it. You can't measure fentanyl, and that's the mistake that's happening with those in you know, struggling with addiction. And I love the men and women who are struggling, because if you were to hear some of their life stories, you would understand that their lives have been so traumatic and so painful that it was the dark energy of addiction that attached itself to them and made them its slave, you know. And when you think about it, the people who have survived and are trying to recover, I tell you this, you are the strongest human beings on the face of the planet.
Oh yeah.
And anybody who looks down on you, they don't understand. They could never walk a day in your shoes. You are the strongest human beings on the face of this planet. If I was a king and I was looking for an army, I said, bring me everybody who's struggling with addiction, because they've been through what nobody has ever been through, and nobody could ever walk in your shoes. You guys are the strongest. That's why I use Warriors Empowerment Group, and I teach you a way where you understand that addiction is not stronger than you. That darkness that's attached itself to you and makes you relapse, that pounds these dark things in your mind all the time, every second of the day, is not stronger than you. It is not stronger than you. And it doesn't want you to discover the day that you figure out that you are stronger than it, and you have always been stronger than addiction.
So, you know, Ed, you mentioned a word that rung a bell in my head. You said relapse. And there's a lot of people who are struggling with addiction. Some show it.
Yeah.
You know, you can see it in their character, and you can see it in their outer exterior of their body.
Yeah, you can tell.
Some people hide it very well. You can't tell. They're professionals, educated, successful. So there's, you know, substance abuse has no respect of a person. I mean, it would hit whoever it will allow it to enter in. So when we look at when we look at people who are constantly relapsing, falling back, then they'll pick themselves up, they get themselves together, they get cleaned up, they go to rehab, they go to a program like yours out in Waterbury, do good for a couple of months or for a year or two, fall back into the same cycle. You know, sometimes family members get hopeless, frustrated, and I get it. You know, you break that bridge. You break that trust with that family member or that spouse or that wife that you're with or that husband you're with. And it's just a constant cycle over and over and over again. So my question is, do we give up on them? Do we lose hope? Do we just say, you know what? The hell with you. I'm done.
A lot of people face that, and a lot of people react that way, and it's understandable. But what you have to realize is that addiction is a demon. It's a dark energy that has attached to this person for a certain reason. And it's very cunning, because it makes them feel like it's a friend. like it's a comfort. Like, forget about that, man. Let's go to the liquor store, grab a bottle. Let's go pick up that pipe. Let's go shoot that heroin. There's a thing that says, like, a river it cuts rock not because of its strength but because of its persistence. And I believe that a mind usually thinks like between 40 and 60,000 thoughts a day. And when you have someone who's addicted, that darkness is always talking to them. It's always telling them. It separates them from their power. Every great battle that everyone faces in the world happens up here. The sign of strength is to strengthen this up here. Your mind, your body has an immune system, so does your mind. It's called psychological immune system. And the more you feed your mind to strengthen your mind, the stronger you are when you battle it. Now, addiction, what it does, it tells you, oh, there goes your mom's credit card. Why don't you take that credit card and run out the house? Borrow the car. You steal the keys. You borrow the car. You crash it all up. What it does is it separates you from your power source, your foundation. Your foundation upon which you fight every battle is made up of all the people that you love. Right? So it separates you from them by you doing these things. So then when you're down and out and you don't want to use and you need to talk to somebody, you pick up the phone and then say, don't call Jason. Don't call Jason because you already messed him over. You don't want nothing to do with you. Now, don't call your kids because you ain't paying no child support. They don't want a thing to do with you. Don't call your mother because you lied to her. You hurt her. She don't want nothing to do with you. And you listen to that dark wolf. You listen to that voice. You know what I mean? Instead of understanding that what you have to do first is repair the foundation upon which you fight every battle. And the true meaning of strength is not being able to turn around and punch somebody in the face or pick up a rock. Anybody can pick up a rock and throw it through a window. Anybody can turn around and assault someone. Anybody cannot go to work. Anybody cannot go to a group. Anybody cannot do homework. You know what I mean? The things that are hard to do, like asking somebody from your heart for forgiveness. Mom, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I did that. And if there's an emotion attached to it, just let it out. And although they've heard, I'm sorry, time and time again, what makes this time different is that you have to understand that you are stronger than that addiction. And once you begin to apologize to the people that you hurt, that make up that foundation upon which you fight every battle, next time that craving hits you, you're down on that one knee where you usually relapse, your mind is going to reflect, wait a minute, I'm talking to my mom again. I'm talking to my brother again. I'm talking to baby mom again. I get to see my kids next week. And if you can't fight for yourself, you illuminate the faces of the people you love and you will fight for them. And understand that once you start solidifying that foundation, you can turn around and tell that voice to F off. You can turn around and deny it. We've trained ourselves to retreat in times where we need to stand up, turn around, and face something that we've always believed was stronger than us, but in actuality, it is not.
Wow. And I want the people that's watching to know, because there's a good amount of people that's watching. I see people coming in and out. There's a lot of comments that are being left as well. We're going to recognize those comments momentarily.
I got my warriors watching. Some of my warriors are online.
That's awesome, man. So, I want to let the people know that's watching. If you're struggling with any type of addiction, if you're one of those individuals that Edwin, I almost said Ramos, Figueroa.
Edward. My brother's name is Edwin, so it's cool.
if you're one of those individuals that Figgy is talking about, listen, we just want to let you know that there's still hope for you, that there's still life for you. And if you need some help, all you got to do is reach out to this brother right here. Reach out to this brother right here, and I guarantee you that he will provide for you a level of service, man, like no other. Right, Ed?
Absolutely, my brother. Absolutely. It's something that it never fails because it's bigger than me. It never fails because it's bigger than me. When I do my Warriors Empowerment Group, I lock myself up for a couple of hours. And I'm not preparing for the group by reading. I'm preparing for the group by praying and by ingesting positivity in my mind, in my body, and in my soul. And when I go into the group room and I begin Warriors Empowerment Group, as soon as I start till the time I finish, it's already an hour and a half already has passed. And it's something that is much bigger than me, and I realize that. That's why I'm never nervous about it. That's why it never fails, because it is bigger than I.
Wow. So Ed, what we're gonna do now, we're gonna take a commercial break. All right.
All right.
Man, we've been going
Pay
for
some
about
bills, man.
yeah, we've been going for about 39 minutes. Yeah.
I told you I can talk
Yeah,
too.
yeah, that's all that passion that's
Yeah.
just flowing out of you. You know, that's the Spirit of God that's speaking.
right. That's right.
And, you know, so what I want to do is I'm going to take a quick commercial break, you guys, so that we can catch a quick breather, so we can get a sip of water.
Yeah.
But again, I'm your host, Jason Rodriguez. We're broadcasting out of the city of Bridgeport, Connecticut. We have our studio here called Super Elite Entertainment, and I'm excited to have Figgy, known as Edward Figueroa, here in the studio with me tonight, man. And we're having a good time. I hope you're being blessed. I hope that you're getting some encouragement, some motivation, and I hope that that the Spirit of God is just touching you right there where you are right now. And again, if you know someone that's going through, someone that can relate to the words that are being thrown out there, expressed tonight, tag them right now. Tag them. Forward this broadcast to them, because we're not done. We have a little ways to go. So we're going to take a quick commercial break. When I come back, we will continue on with our conversation with Edward Figueroa. We'll be right back momentarily, you guys. Don't go anywhere.
Welcome to Spark City Smoke and Vape, located at 815 Lafayette Boulevard, Bridgeport, Connecticut.
All right, you guys, welcome back to Super Elite Entertainment. Again, I'm your host, Jason Rodriguez. We're having such a great time here in the studio with Figgy, Edward Figueroa, known as the Joel Osteen of addiction, also known as the addiction killer, right? Am I getting it right?
That's right.
All right, so here we go with Edward Figueroa. So, Figgy, how you feeling, man?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. I want to mention something too, man. Before the COVID hit, I was planning a podcast with another man, a guy, with a brother of mine named Justin Riley. Just right, Justin. If you're watching, man, I'm sending you some love, my brother. He and I are still working, and I'm hoping that you can be a part of this as well. Bring your show to a podcast that we're gonna get ready to create once this is all lifted, where we can have an audience of those struggling with addiction and a member of their family. So once that happens, I'll definitely let you know, and hopefully we can have, we can do that podcast together, man. Because I love you, man. I think you're an amazing person. I would love to interview you one day, man.
Oh, awesome, man. I mean, wow. Have I ever been interviewed? I think I've been interviewed one time, and that was a long, long time ago.
Oh, we're gonna make it epic, man. We're gonna make it super elite.
I wonder how I'll respond sitting on the hot seat myself. I'll probably be stuttering, don't know what to say.
Nah, I don't think so, my brother. I don't think so, man.
Yeah, but for you guys that are watching right now, if you're just tuning in, I have Mr. Edward Figueroa here in the studio, known as the Joel Osteen of addiction, known as the addiction killer, creator, through the inspiration of the Spirit of God, Warriors Empowerment Program.
That's right.
Which has changed countless lives, thousands of lives, and it's a movement that's growing and expanding. And Edward, so I know that your program is currently available in Waterbury. Where else is it in the state of Connecticut?
Well, I'm actually looking to bring it here to Bridgeport. I've tried, it's hard to, when it comes to addiction again, and you want to speak to people about addiction, and I tell them that I run a group, it's called Warriors Empowerment Group. The person in that facility will say, well, we got plenty of people to do groups here, we don't really need it. So it's a subject that people don't want to talk about. Politicians don't want to talk about. People don't want to talk about it because they feel it's a dead end. Like it's a subject that you can't build a campaign on, and it's the furthest from the truth, because these people who are going through addiction are in the millions. It's an untapped market in the millions.
Yeah.
And it started in the hood, but it's no longer just in the hood.
Uh-huh.
It's in high society. It's in every city, every state across America.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of the biggest problems that we face that nobody. When was the last time you heard of any president anybody speak about addiction, unless they're talking about, you know, somebody who OD'd or people who OD'd on the green or this and that. There are a lot of success stories when it comes to addiction. There are a lot of people who discover and are beating addiction as well. They never focus on those things. And I provide something that you put me in front of someone who's addicted, and I will give them the tools for them to use to fight and to beat and to become stronger than your addiction.
Wow. And that, you know, I
keep saying me.
No,
sorry, God.
No. I mean, God knows. God, you know, God's getting all the glory here tonight. And you know, through God's guidance and leadership, you've been able to create this amazing program called Warriors Empowerment Program. And you know, I've looked it over. I mean, you and me have had plenty of conversations about it, and your program has changed countless lives. And one thing that I can say is that anyone who finds the ability to overcome addiction, heroin, methamphetamine, crack cocaine, Oxycontin, all those different type of pills that people take. First of all, I know it's not easy to break an addiction.
No,
I know I've never been a drug addict, but I know it's not easy.
It is not.
But I take my hat off to any person that overcomes that, man.
Oh my God.
And there's countless people that I know who were, you know,
Me too.
yeah. But they're living a clean, sober, successful life.
That's right.
They're holding down a job. They have their home, their apartment. They have their spouse. I mean, they're productive in the community. They're influencing other people. They're a contributor in our community now, man. And so I like the way you said that. You know, we focus on the people that's abusing the substances, but we don't focus on the people who have overcome that substance.
I guess
and living a productive lifestyle.
Yeah, there's more news or more ratings when you talk about the bad stuff versus talking about the good stuff. I'm a marketing pro, so I understand that.
Uh-huh.
But they don't understand that it's also an untapped market in the millions, because, you know, although I've done so many things in my life, and platinum credit, gold credit, and then I just got my paperwork for an 18 platinum song project that I worked on back in the day. That, you know, you got to go through a process. I never wanted these awards while I was working there. Then when I came back, I said, you know what, I earned those awards, and let me see if I can get them. So I filled out and I reached out to everybody, and I got the two. You know, Solid as a Rock is one, and Winner in You by Patti LaBelle is the platinum one, and then the 18 times platinum is
the Whitney Houston
the
song,
Whitney Houston and Kevin Costner movie Bodyguard, which featured an Ashford and Simpson song, I'm Every Woman. And thank God that I saved all of my we used to send out what do you call them, newsletters across the country to all the fans. I used to call the radio stations, you know, back in the day before the internet. You know,
before all of this, you see right here.
Before the internet, there was a way that there was an art to promoting, and actually that art is still prevalent today. So, you know, when it comes to stuff like that, if you go to my house when you come to my house, you're gonna see I have a little hallway, right, that leads to the kitchen, and that's where I have those plaques in this dark hallway. Because not that it doesn't mean anything, because it's a part of my life, and you know,
that was your contribution.
Yeah, but this road that God has put me on, no matter how difficult it can be sometimes, it is the most rewarding experience of my life, because I connect with real people. I'm saving lives. There's no more important job in this world, on this universe, than that. And I just wish that, you know, Warriors Empowerment Group would get the attention that it deserves, because it saves lives.
Yeah. And I hope that, you know, for anyone that's watching, and we've been having a lot of people coming in and out that's watching tonight, and if you've never heard of Warrior Empowerment Group, you know, Mr. Edward Figueroa here is the creator. He's the founder of such program. And you know, Ed, I mean, I hope that someone that's watching, you know, that God touches their heart, and someone who has access to different channels and different facilities, or even, you know, Department of Corrections or whatever the case may be, because there's inside the correction facility, your program would explode.
I would
I
love
know
it,
it
man.
would explode without a doubt.
I would love it.
Now-
It would take one time. That's it.
Yeah.
To feel the power of God.
So your program is faith based.
It's faith based.
Mm-hmm.
It's faith based because most of the people who are struggling with addiction, their faith is buried under tons of pain, years of pain and trauma, and it's one thing that they don't believe in anymore. You know, faith is not tangible. You can't touch it. It's something that comes inside. But when you have lived by faith all of your life and you realize its power, and once I present this unique system, this belief system, you're going to uncover tools inside of yourself that you never knew that you had. So when that craving hits, instead of retreating like you programmed yourself to do, you turn around and you fight it, and you live to fight another day. You know, and those days add up to weeks, those weeks add up to months, those months add up to years, and before you know it, you're stable, you're clean, and you're headed towards the greatest moments in your life, because nobody deserves to be more happier than the people who are struggling with addiction.
Wow. AA, NA, those type of programs. You know, I tend to hear people speak negative about them sometimes, especially religious people, people of faith, because they're saying that it's not God-centered. What would your response be to that?
Well, it's all that they have. Nobody knows about Warriors Empowerment Group. I mean, I've been doing it for 6 years, so there's hundreds of people who know about it, you know, maybe 2,000 or 3,000 by now. But the system, it's like an auto drive. Okay, you're an addict or you're an alcoholic. You put them into that slot, and this is what you got to do. You know, and it's something that it may work, it may not work.
Yeah.
But when you incorporate a system based on faith, where you can help someone discover strengths that they never thought that they had, when you can help someone understand that they are stronger than their addiction, when you can help someone understand that no one on this earth is stronger than the people who are going through addiction. Because if you're looking at me, you're watching me right now on TV, and you're struggling with addiction, you know you should be in a box right now. Maybe you've been Narcan before. You know what I mean? You shouldn't be living right now. You know that, but you've survived that, and you've survived it for a reason. God has a purpose for you in this life. And if you stay strong and you keep walking west, like the book of Eli, you keep walking west and stay on that path, no matter how hard it gets, you have to understand that you have put yourself on the path to your happiness that you deserve. Nothing good comes easy. I'm not saying it's easy, but it is worth it. And understand that you are stronger than your addiction. It doesn't want you to discover that. I can help you discover that.
Wow. And that's the message that we're trying to present to each and every one of you that's watching, especially if you're struggling with addiction, is that the resources are there for you to overcome, for you to succeed, and for you to get past that struggle. Because I know the struggle's hard. I know it's real. You know, especially when you're trying to kick and you're starting to get dope sick. I mean, nobody wants to feel that pain and the agony and the chills and all that stuff that comes with.
Yeah, but you got to understand again, you know, our mind is comprised of we have our conscious mind and we have our subconscious mind. Our conscious mind is right here, right now. We're living in the now. Our subconscious mind is filled with files and belief systems that most of them are untrue, are false, you know. And you know, when that craving hits you, or when somebody pushes, let's say you have an anger problem. A lot of people do. I do. Somebody pushes that button, and you react the same way that you've always reacted. That's never worked. You have to understand that it's a reaction, it's a program. You're not stopping, you're not analyzing, you're not thinking at that moment. You just follow that program that you've always followed that's never worked. So instead of going left like you've done all your life, I'll give you the tools so that you can stop and you can understand that you're stronger and you go right. It doesn't matter if you can't see where you're going, but at least you know you're walking on solid ground, because that's the path of God. That's the path of faith. And once you follow that path, it's heading to the greatest moments in your life. And nobody deserves it more than those who's struggling with addiction. No one deserves to be happier than those struggling with addiction. You are the strongest human beings on the face of the planet. Believe that.
So there's hope.
There is.
There's hope.
Absolutely.
Let's acknowledge some of the people that's watching on Facebook. There's so many comments. I think you have a lot of fans that are watching right now, Ed.
Oh man, I already said Justin Riley, my boy Justin Riley. God bless you, my brother Kirk. My family on both sides. My last name is Figueroa. Married name is Solano. So we do Figolano. What's up, my people, my family? I love you all.
Yep. So we got Nancy Lopez is saying hi, Edward. So proud of you.
It's my cousin from New York.
Richard Bruno who says I love you,
That's
Ed.
one of my warriors. That's one of my warriors right there.
He's saying thanks for being part of the process that has saved my life.
Boom.
Maria Valentin is
Love
saying
you,
God
Rich.
bless you, Ed.
Thank you, Maria. I love you, baby.
Luis Zayas is saying you
Luis
are the
Zayas.
vessel, brother. You are the vessel. Mario Dono is saying amen. We can recover.
Yes, sir.
We can recover.
Yes, sir. Louis Zayas, what's up, my brother from high school?
My cousin Magali Rodriguez is saying hello from Puerto Rico. You know, I want to say hello to Magali. Benny Gonzalez, who's a bachata.
Madre.
Hey, there you go.
I gotta add that to my playlist, man.
He's saying great show tonight.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you, Benny. Benny's
Thank you, Benny.
a faithful follower, man, and he's always watching, and we truly appreciate Benny. Benny's a gift to the world as well, man.
Absolutely, man.
And
Absolutely.
we
You know,
have
I appreciate artists who use their talent to make the world a better place.
absolutely, man. We got Joe Bahmi who is saying amen, brother.
Joe from church, what's up, Joe?
Yep. Joe is saying you take the darkness and bring it to the light.
That's right. That's what we do. We warriors.
That's right. That's right. Lydia Rosado Solano is saying heavy fig, heavy.
Ah, that's my family. That's my family. They don't hold punches. They swing.
Yeah. So, you know, I truly appreciate everyone that's watching tonight, man. And some of you guys, I see quite a few have shared the broadcast. Lisette Diaz is on here as well. Denise Solano is saying, Brenda Ortiz, we love you, mama. So many people watching, so many comments that are being left. They're all your fans, man.
Yeah, well, you know what? We family. You know, we're family. I don't believe in.
Yep, that's all right. That's all right.
I don't believe in fans and idolizing people, but I do understand and I appreciate the love, man, because I'm a person that was mentored to feel energy, and I've always been a weird person. People who know me, they'll tell you, you know, he was a little weird. He was a little weird because when I discovered that voice and I discovered my passion for creative writing, you know, I was at Seaside Park writing when everybody else was making out. Not that I didn't make out, because I'm not a saint, you know, but I spent so much time, so many hours, so many days, so many weeks, so many months, so many years building my gifts as a writer that it became my church, you know what I mean? Because I knew that he gave me that gift for a reason, and that was the beginning of my journey, and we come full circle with that, you know what I mean? Because, you know, it's nothing better than working in entertainment, but being on the business end of it, because you network with some amazing minds and some amazing people. You know, like a couple of years ago, I discovered this kid on YouTube. I don't know if he's watching. Porter Mayberry. What's up, my brother? If you're watching, he's 5'5", right? And he had on YouTube millions of views of him slamming the basketball, doing all these amazing things on the basketball court. And I befriended him and we became friends. And I was able to get him on the Steve Harvey show, the new Steve Harvey show in Hollywood. And he appeared on the Steve Harvey show. And then a little while later, he got a tryout with the Harlem Globetrotters, and now he's a Harlem Globetrotter.
Wow.
So when he comes here, I take the family, we go see him play. What up, Porter Mayberry? And look, this is a 5'5" guy whose slogan is "What gravity?"
I was going to say he's a little short guy, right?
Yeah,
but he glides up there.
Yes,
I know who you're talking about.
So sometimes in my life, I love being the bridge for other people. You know what I mean? People with talent, I can connect them somewhere, somehow, you know, and you know, like Edwin Ramos, you mentioned, you know, I got him a publishing deal with MTV Viacom, you know, back in the day when we worked together, and I'm sure he's still making the royalties from that today, you know? So being the bridge for someone else, puente, is one of the most important things that you can do for people.
That's awesome, man. And you've been at it for quite some time now.
Oh man,
You
I
know,
love doing it.
yeah, you're
My wife will tell you, I'm on the phone. What you doing? What you doing? I just booked this dude on the Steve Harvey show. Oh my God. Okay, yeah, check him out.
Wow.
And so it's like,
So you like to work. You like to work in behind the scenes.
absolutely.
You like to work behind the scenes. You like to help people advance and get ahead.
If I can help someone, I do have a lot of connections, and if I can ever help someone, I do it. The entertainment business is not the same, it's not the same. But what it did teach me was that, I was working in New York the days of the Studio 54s and all that,
yeah.
that kind of life.
I've been there.
Yeah.
I've been there.
Where you're in that green room and they're coming around with this tray back in the
Uh-huh.
day and you're thinking it's some food and they put it down as a mountain of powder and I'm like, oh, shit, what the hell is that? And then you have friends who throughout your life amazing people who have succumbed to the darkness of addiction. Addiction has taken a lot of people away, people that I love, family, amazing friends in New York, co-writers and amazing people in the world, and it's like I look at myself today and I understand now, I've come full circle, why I went through everything that I went through. And although, it's very hard to do what I do because, again, everybody does a group. Everybody does a group in recovery. It's hard for me to make people understand that my group is different, not because of me, but because of the years of mentoring that I received from Dr. Maya Angelou, Nicholas Ashford, Valerie Simpson, where I was a dry sponge and they would just breathe some beautiful, amazing wisdom inside of me, you know what I mean? And then the connection with God and that voice to you can save lives, you can do this, you know what I mean? And once I started, I never looked back, man. I never looked back.
That's awesome, man.
Oh, I want to shout out to my friend Chino Nunez. If you're watching, Chino Nunez, legendary, worked with Hector Lavoe. We doing some stuff together for addiction. God bless you, Chino Nunez.
Wow.
This is my brother, my maestro, one of my mentors.
Wow, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. And so many people watching, so many people leaving comments. Benny is saying much love to you both. Thank you for the love in return. Definitely, Benny. Madre.
Madre, that's a great song, Benny.
Yeah.
I'm going to add it to my playlist. I promise you, my brother. Thank you for that song.
So Ed, you came tonight, and we're starting to wind down now on the show, and you poured yourself out, and you shared so much with the viewing audience. And if I was to give you an opportunity to speak to the people that are watching live right now directly, your final words, what would those words be at this time?
First thing you have to do is to realize that inside of your mind is where you fight your greatest battles. And you fight on this foundation made up of the people who love and support you, the people that you've hurt and you've lied to, that you've stolen from. And the way that you begin to gain that power back is to apologize from your heart to all of those people that you've hurt. And immediately once you do that, an amazing thing begins to happen. That foundation begins to solidify itself. So that when you find yourself back on that 1D craving where you usually relapse, your mind is going to reflect, wait a minute, I'm talking to mom again. Wait a minute, I'm talking to my kids again. My life is more on track right now. And in that moment in time, when in the past you were to relapse, you stand up, you illuminate the face of someone that you love dearly, whether they're here on earth or up in heaven. I used to illuminate the face of my son, Edward Figueroa Jr. God bless you, son. He's a senior producer at WWE. He's following in the footsteps. He's better than me, though, the new and improved. And when you understand that you have to solidify that foundation by asking for forgiveness, that's one of the hardest things to do. I've noticed people that have arguments with each other, and when they have arguments with each other, they don't, we might be in the same room and we're invisible. You know what I mean? It takes true strength to look at you in the face and say, yo, man, I apologize to you, my brother. I didn't mean what I said. I'm sorry from my heart that I hurt you. I didn't know where that came from. I just have this problem inside of me, and I apologize to you. That's the sign of strength. That's the sign of strength. Not being able to lift, bench press 600 pounds. That's not the sign of. This is the sign of strength. Being able to apologize to someone that you've hurt. And once you begin doing that, your foundation that you fight every battle on begins to solidify. And that is the beginning of your journey as a warrior or warrior in recovery.
Wow. Ed, I want to thank you for the opportunity of having you come down to the studio. We're not done yet, though.
Okay.
Because, we're going to take a quick commercial break.
Okay.
But when we come back, I'm going to hit you off with what I call the shotgun questions.
Okay.
I haven't hit anyone off with the shotgun questions in quite some time because I've been broadcasting from home and the guests have been coming out remotely. So, you're here on the hot
seat. It's an honor to be
seat.
here. This is a beautiful studio, ladies and gentlemen. It's an honor to be here. I'm glad to be your first since COVID. Thank you, man.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
absolutely.
you, brother.
I'm ready for that.
All right. All right. So for you guys that are watching right now, again, I'm your host, Jason Rodriguez, and we're broadcasting from the Super Elite Entertainment Studio located in the great city of Bridgeport, Connecticut. The gentleman that's seated here to my left is Mr. Edward Figueroa, known as Figgy, known as the Joe Osteen of addiction. And as you can see, the way he just expressed himself, man, he is full of knowledge and understanding in regards to addiction. And if you need his assistance, his services, all you got to do is reach out to him, direct message him through Facebook, Instagram, whatever the case may be. I'm sure that Edward, before we go, is going to throw all his information out there shortly. But for now, we're going to take a quick commercial break. Don't go anywhere, guys. We'll be right back momentarily. All right? Don't you dare go anywhere. I'll come looking for you. We'll be right back.
Hi, welcome to Aces Bail Bonds.
Do you need information regarding bail bonds and the bail bond process? Contact us at Aces Bail Bonds, where we are happy to give you a free bail consultation. You are in capable hands with our reputable agency. For fast, reliable bail bond service, get out of jail fast with Aces Bail Bonds. You can save time and money by calling ahead. We'll have the forms ready for you, with everything handled privately, discreetly, and confidentially at our office. For fast, reliable bail bond service, call Aces Bail Bonds now.
Welcome to Ramirez Restaurant.
All right, you guys, and welcome back to Super Elite Entertainment. Again, I'm your host, Jason Rodriguez. I want to thank all of you guys who've been sitting there listening and tuning in. I want to thank you guys who shared this broadcast. I want to thank you guys who've been leaving comments and clicking that heart button, that like button. Man, this is such an exciting time. We are live right now. Ed, we are live on YouTube. We're live on Facebook. We're live on Twitch and Periscope and on our website. We're just live all over the place, man. So I hope you're enjoying yourself.
Oh, man, it's an honor to be here, man. I really feel full, man. I really feel grateful to you. Thank you so much, brother. Thank you for the platform.
Yeah, thank you, man. And like I said, I truly appreciate the opportunity of having you come down to our studio and you being able to speak openly the way you did to the viewing audience. But I'm sure that at least one person has gotten blessed tonight.
Very good. That's all I need. That's all I need. You save one life and they rejoice in heaven for an eternity.
That's right. That's right. So, you ready for the shotgun questions?
Let's make it happen, my brother.
All right, so here we go. The first question should be extremely easy for you. What's your favorite song?
Solid as a rock.
Solid as a rock. You know how to sing it?
Yeah, of course.
Go ahead, sing it.
Oh, come on, man. You
Come
gonna
on.
put me on the spot.
Sing it.
Oh, man. My boy Edwin Ramos is watching. He gonna say, damn, he's off key like crazy.
All right, Solid as a Rock. And that's by your mentor.
That's by my
Ashford.
mentors, Nick Ashford and Valerie Simpson.
Absolutely. Favorite movie?
Favorite movie? Oh my God, there's a lot of them, and as a filmmaker. But I'm gonna go and say, and if you haven't watched this movie, watch this movie. It's called The Mambo Kings with Antonio Banderas and Armand Desante. Mambo Kings.
I've seen that movie.
Yeah,
It's a good movie.
Great movie. Love that movie.
Favorite food?
Favorite food, Puerto Rican food. I mean, I love Italian food too, but I can eat rice and beans every day. Can you see the little belly developing on me right here?
I see a six-pack, brother.
Yeah, it's actually protecting my six-pack with a layer of fat. That's how it goes. Denise Solano, she's the one that's been cooking. Denise Solano Figueroa. She cooks a lot, so I got to be careful. She's a good cook.
All right. What's your favorite sport?
My favorite sport, man, I have two. I love basketball. and I love football. You know, I love to see athleticism. You know, I'm a Yankee fan and a Knicks fan, but I'll go for any team. I'm not biased like that. You know, I just want to see whoever. When you see someone perform amazing feats like my boy Porter Mayberry, now on the Harlem Globetrotters, man, it's an amazing feeling.
What era of the Yankees did you like the most?
I'm going to have to say the early 80s because I believe Edward Figueroa was the pitcher for the Yankees. He was the first Puerto Rican to win 20 games in a row. And he's my friend. He's actually a second cousin of mine. Figgy, si está mirando, te quiero mucho, hermanito.
Awesome, man. My era was Jeter, Bernie Williams, Jorge Posada, you know, Scott Brocious, Paul O'Neill.
Come on, man.
You know, that whole
that's a franchise.
You know, the core four, man.
The best in history. The best in history. That's why we get hated on. Mariano Rivera. What? Come on now. Yeah.
All right. So, what's the favorite thing you like to read?
I like to read inspirational stuff. You know what I mean? Dr. Maya Angelou has a lot of inspirational stuff. I like to read inspirational stuff, and I also do a lot of Googling. Like I do near-death experiences where people have flatlined and died and gone somewhere and come back and to talk about it. Those things really inspire me.
Favorite car?
Favorite car? I have to say Mustang.
Old school Mustang?
Old school Mustang.
5.0?
The big, thick one.
The square one?
Yeah.
Oh, before that?
The big thick one.
Thick one.
I would say 1976, 1977 Mustang.
Okay, I thought you were talking about like the 92, 93.
No. Yeah.
Okay.
Old school. I want to hear it when it comes down the street. Daddy's home.
Favorite thing you like to do?
I love to write. And I'm a loner. I've always been a lone wolf, you know. And like again, my friends will tell you that was a weird dude, you know. He never really hung out, whatever. And I still don't, you know. But I love athleticism. I have a basketball court at home. I have a swimming pool at home. So I like to do a lot of things with the family.
Yeah. What's your favorite word? The word that you like to use?
Faith. It's what built me. Faith is what built me, and it builds anyone who believes in it. Follow your dreams, and you have faith. There's nothing that could stop you.
What sound or noise do you like to hear the most?
Rain or the ocean. Rain or the ocean.
Soothing.
Yeah, Seaside Park is the most beautiful beach I've been to in a long time. You know what I mean? I still go there. I try to go there when nobody's there. Then when people start coming, I retreat. You know, but it's nothing like getting to the water early in the morning and being able to inspire and pray and create. There's nothing like it. I've written most every screenplay and song by Seaside.
Wow, and I'm glad you said that though, because a lot of people tend to talk bad about Seaside Park, but Seaside Park it's beautiful.
You imagine Bridgeport without it.
Yeah. You know,
everybody comes from New York. They come from other places, and I've been to. You know, we go to Westport Beach. You go to Hammonasset. You can go to all those beaches, but it's not as nice as Seaside Park.
Seaside Park.
You walk through the sand. I mean, it's just there's nothing like it.
But that's all right. They can keep saying that it. You know, they can keep talking negative about it and not going there. We'll utilize it.
Better for me.
Yeah, better for me. We'll utilize the beach. Don't worry about it. All right. What's the favorite place you like to visit?
I'm gonna say Seaside.
Seaside.
I'm gonna say Seaside. And I'm gonna tell you something, man. Born and raised in Bridgeport, and then moving to New York and working for Ashford and Simpson from the age of 21 for 15 years later. That prepared me to be able to, drive them to the Bronx or to Harlem and stuff. I had the swag, I had the toughness inside of me. It taught me how to be myself and be prepared in any environment. Bridgeport was my breeding ground, and I owe everything to this city.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up.
Yeah.
I'm with you, 110%.
I remember taking the train and watching people from Bridgeport get on in Westport and Fairfield. And they're like, damn, man, you don't live there.
Wow.
Yeah.
So other than your current profession and in the entertainment industry and also with Warriors Empowerment Group, if you was able to do it all over again, what would Edward Figueroa do?
I would just listen to that voice. I would listen to that voice and follow that voice. Whatever that voice told me to do, and whenever it told me to do it, I did it. I didn't hesitate. I just followed that voice, and I still follow that voice today.
Excellent. Final question. If heaven really exists, and you and I both know that it does,
Yes, absolutely.
when you arrive there at the pearly gates, what do you want to hear God the Father say to you, Figgy, when you arrive there?
That you're forgiven of all your sins and you belong here, my son.
Wow. Wow. With that said, we have come to the completion of the show, brother. I mean, I don't even need that anymore. I hope you enjoyed yourself.
Oh my God, it's a pleasure being here, man. I really, you inspire me. You know what I mean? You really inspire me. And again, I'm gonna have to come back and be your guest interview. I would love to got some questions to ask you, because there's a lot of kids and a lot of youth. You know, when we were growing up, when I was growing up, you know, there was mentors everywhere.
Yeah.
There's no mentors anymore. You know, and somebody who's watching your show could be saying, "Damn, I want to do that. I want to be that." You know, and has no way to do that. You know, I wish that there was. I wish that people realize that art has the power to change the world. If you give people a chance to sing, to dance, to create, to write, I mean, I have younger kids, and you go to school and it's a play. You go to the school and you watch the play. It's The Lion King, The Wiz, stuff that you've seen a million times. Why don't you get these kids together, talk about a subject, and then write a play? Let them write the play. You know what I mean? Why does it always have to be the same thing that we saw when we were kids? You know what I mean? It's like, I wish that the art programs were taken more seriously and more enriched, because that seems like when they cut, those are the first things to go, because the powers that be realizes that art has the power to change the world.
Wow. And Ed, I truly appreciate those words of encouragement.
Thank you, my
and
brother.
I just want you to keep in mind that this studio and this platform and this house is your house. You're invited to come here anytime you like.
Thank you, my
And
brother.
anything that we can do on our end to help you advance and enhance Warriors Empowerment Group. I mean, we're here to
I appreciate
to
you,
provide
man.
that level of service to you and to all your warriors that follow you.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you. For all my warriors that are watching, man, I love you guys, and continue fighting that fight, because you know where you're headed. The greatest moments in your life.
That's what's up, man. And before we go, I just want to acknowledge some of the people that are watching again. Ed, Jeff Timberlake is saying, "You inspire me, Figgy."
Grammar school, Jeff Timberlake, Roosevelt School.
Yeah, Nancy Lopez is saying, "Amen, cuz."
My cousin.
Jeff Timberlake is saying, "Awesome, great show."
That's my brother right there.
My wife Michelle was saying, "Seaside Park and Beardsley Park are two gems in the city of Bridgeport." Nancy Lopez, she's
Another
leaving all
cousin.
kind of comments on here.
Yeah, I got. My family is huge, so I've always been surrounded by women. The women dominated my family, and I think that it makes me who I am today, because I think women should be running the country. We need women to run the country. Look what happens. Look where we are now because of men.
Luis Hernandez is saying, "That's being a true person." Amen.
That's my boy, Lou.
Millie Solano, Minnie Solano's watching.
Oh, Minnie,
Yeah,
what's up? She works
she's
in the
watching.
recovery. That's my girl.
Yep, I see my buddy Ralph Murray, who's a correction officer. He's watching as well. What's up, Murray? Truly appreciate you tuning in. Joe Bahami. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing
He's
it
a church
properly.
brother. He's a church brother.
Yeah.
I think, you know what? I don't know if this is right. I might be wrong, but Joe, didn't I coach you? Back in the day, there used to be a fastball Class A league with Cafe Butelo, Goya. I played for Goya, and I part time I took this team on, and I started coaching the team. And I wonder if I gotta ask Joe. Joe, I haven't asked you this, but were you the pitcher on my baseball team? Answer that question.
He struck you out?
No, I was the coach.
I know.
But he probably could have. He was a good ball player.
All right, Ed. So this is it, man. We're done. I truly appreciate the opportunity. Thank you for coming down to the show.
Thank you,
It's
Super.
been a great honor and a great privilege of having you on the hot seat tonight, brother.
The feeling is mutual, my brother. God bless you all that's watching. Thank
Excellent.
you for your support.
All right. And for you guys that are watching, I want to thank you for tuning in tonight. It's been a great privilege. It's been a great honor to be able to broadcast from our studio located right here in the city of Bridgeport, Connecticut. Yeah, we have a real live studio. I'm not at home. I'm not in my basement. Some people think that I'm at home or in my basement doing this. No, we have a real live studio.
This is a beautiful studio.
There's lights and cameras
That's
and
right.
screens and you name it, all over the place. So this is a real studio located right here in downtown Bridgeport. And the show that you're watching, which is called Live with Jason Rodriguez, it is something that we do on a weekly basis. Every single Tuesday night at 7 o'clock, we broadcast live, and we try to bring you the best exclusive interviews throughout the state of Connecticut. Also, keep in mind, we have a new show that started about 6 or 7 weeks ago when everything went into lockdown mode throughout the state. I started a new show. Actually, I feel that I was inspired by God to start a new show called Praying with Music.
I love that show, my
Yeah,
brother.
man, and that show has been so successful. A lot of people tune in, and people have been enjoying it. People, send me messages and text messages, and people express their gratitude for that show. And I'm going to continue doing it. The only thing is that the show was always on Saturdays at 8 p.m. at night. Now, tomorrow, things are going to start opening up little by little, so I'm going to be smart about this. I'm going to change the show from Saturday to Thursday. So we're going to keep Praying with Music going at 8 p.m., but it will be on Thursday nights now. Because I know Friday and Saturday, listen, people are going to start going out to the clubs. They're going to want to hit the bars, and people are going to want to get out.
That's right.
And I'm one of those individuals that want to get out myself. I'm just saying. I'm going to keep it 100. I'm going to keep it what they call the young people. I'm going to keep it 1K.
If you need a designated driver, call me, my brother. I'll be home eating popcorn and watching TV.
Absolutely. So, we're going to be moving the show from Saturday to Thursday nights at 8 o'clock, Praying with Music. So, again, if you're able to tune in this Thursday night, this Thursday, we're going to have Praying with Music live, broadcasting from right here, from our studio in the city of Bridgeport, Connecticut. So, with that said, I want to thank each and every one of you. I thank you for tuning in. I thank you for sharing this live broadcast. I thank you guys for your support and for your love. I thank you for just being there on a weekly basis. I want to thank all my advertisers, my sponsors, who back us up and support us on a weekly basis. If it's not for you, to Perez Tire Center, Luis Miranda, and Aces Bail Bond, and Spark City Smoke and Vape, and all of you, Ramirez Spanish Restaurant, if it's not for you guys, I would not be able to do this on a weekly basis. This is a community platform. This is your studio. Again, if you're not following me if you're not following Super Elite Entertainment on Instagram or Facebook, go and follow us tonight. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, and also visit our website at www.supereliteentertainment.com. And if you know someone that should be on our show, send me a direct message. Send us a message through our website. Direct message me on Facebook or Instagram, even on YouTube, and we will get that person here into our studio and feature them on our show. Again, I'm your host, Jason Rodriguez. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. God bless. Have a good night, and I'll see you Thursday night at 8 p.m. for Praying with Music. Have a good night, guys. God bless.